let's just get right into Blue Cruise. Mike, you just got back from a little trip and you just used it for really the first time. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so we have demoed it, here and there at shows and on the lot and stuff, but this is really our first time actually using it. So my wife and I, we took our kids to Florida. So we went from Illinois to Florida. It's about 1,300 miles each way. I would say between, a full round trip, I probably drove 100 miles myself. Um, it is really a neat product. It limits fatigue. It makes your driving experience so much easier, especially that 4 a.m. mark when we're back on the road and the car just taking over for you. It really makes it easy. So how it works, what it does, because I learned a lot myself actually using it. Um, First thing, most important, speed limit. It does have a max speed where you're allowed to use it. So it cuts out at 81 miles an hour. So if you set that cruise control to 80, you're good. The moment it goes over, it will tell you to take control of the wheel, which is probably for the best. Um, but most importantly is traffic. We were in Florida. We got caught into about an hour and a half of stop and go traffic. So it was 2, 3 miles an hour back to a stop, back to 2 miles an hour. The car will bring it down to a dead stop and then it'll accelerate with traffic. So it is truly a hands-free driving experience. Speed, brake, steering, it does it all. So like I said, when we were in that traffic, we were going, we were at 80 miles an hour. We started coming up to it. It slowed it all the way down to a dead stop. And then for the next hour and a half, just it crept forward and backwards with that traffic. Really was a cool thing. But what it gives you the ability to do is, in my case, help with the kids, right? So we're, handing, snacks back and forth, fixing iPads, fixing, games for them. And it really was a cool feature. Also, when we're driving it, it does more. It changes lanes for you. So if you're following somebody, you're coming up to someone, they're going 60 miles an hour. I have my cruise control set at 80. It will slow down to the person's speed in front of you. But that's as simple as you just hit the turn signal and it will change lanes, whether you're going left or right. It'll make that lane change and it'll pick up to the speed you have it set at again right away. Now, say you're in the right-hand side of right-hand lane. You want to get over to the left and there's a car going 100 miles an hour coming up behind you. If you hit that turn signal, it will sense that car coming up at a faster speed than you're set. It will deactivate that turn. So it's not going to put you in a bad situation. But overall, 1,300 miles each way, I had zero issues. We didn't have there were no glitches in the system. There were no close calls. There was never a point where I felt unsafe. It was probably one of the coolest things that I've experienced. It really was neat.
You touched on something there that everybody talks to me on when I explain it to them that they have it out there, and that's safety. Nobody wants to give control over to the robots, as they say.
Yeah.
Were you a little nervous about it at first, being the?
Yeah. And I'll be honest, there were a couple times, we're in 4 lanes of traffic going 80 miles an hour, and I got a semi to my left, semi to the right. I'm going in the middle of them to pass them, right? There was, in the beginning, it's, my hand's still like reaching for that
Yeah,
steering wheel. I didn't have to. By the end of the
yeah,
trip, I just let it go.
yeah. You're comfortable with it. You
Yeah,
believed it.
once you get past your own self-awareness or concerns, it really was such an easy process.
Yeah.
Especially, we stopped one night. We stopped in Tennessee. We were kind of in that Georgia border there, and we woke up bright and early. We're 4 a.m. We're on the road. I'm tired. The coffee hasn't kicked in yet. It's dark. We're kind of going through the mountains. It it really added a level of safety, if anything, right?
Yeah.
That car drove us that entire way. It is more than just a convenience. It really is a safety thing too. It is super cool, and I would really encourage anybody that has interest in it or doesn't have interest in it and just wants to come check it out. Bring them down to the dealer. We'll get you up on the road with one, and we can show you what it's all about. Because until you really use it, you don't know, right? I was
Yeah.
against it forever until I used it. I'm like, wow, this thing is super cool. Why have we never done this before? So I will not travel without it anymore.
Yeah. No, that's a really neat feature. They also had a connected services on your car. This is the first time I
Yeah.
think you really used that because that was new for this year.
Yeah. Yep. So
What was some of the highlights for that, especially on a long car trip?
So long car trip, short car trips, it's going to be the same benefits, right? And especially if you have, I mean, there's a lot of different uses for it. In my personal, use, it's kids. I have three young kids. Being in the car that long, we need their iPads to work, right? We need the tablets to work. So what it is for my benefit, we hooked up the connected services. It is a monthly subscription. What that cost is, I think it does vary a little bit, but you can buy them with the vehicle too. But I think I paid like $14 a month, and it gave my car a permanent hotspot. So every time we're getting in and out of the car, the iPads automatically hook right up to the vehicle. And we had a hotspot the entire way. So the kids are able to watch everything on their iPads. They're able to play their games. My daughter does her learning courses for school. She was able to hook right up to it. And anyone with kids would know this too. The first thing you get in the car is, hey, mom, dad, turn on the hotspot, right? Turn on that Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I can't find your name.
Yeah, right. And it eliminates all that. Like we get in, we go. I mean, it just, with all the cool features that it has, it really made it for such an easy trip.